Kyle Busch never holds back. Whether he's calling out competitors, voicing discontent with NASCAR's direction, or making bold decisions for his own career, the two-time Cup Series winner always makes headlines. Even for a driver as outspoken as Busch, his latest remarks have sent shockwaves through the garage, the fans, and the sport itself. In an honest interview on Denny Hamlin's Actions Detrimental podcast, Busch detailed his future ambitions, personal goals, and some of the difficulties that have been simmering beneath the surface. From his winless run to a stolen Indy 500 ride, from jabs at Joey Logano to a return to the style of NASCAR's championship race, Busch opened up in unexpected and powerful ways. In the process, he may have initiated a new chapter in his legacy, one that will shape the next 5 years of his career and perhaps beyond. If I got 4 more years, let's just say 44, if I got 4 left, I'd like to run 5 more because that would put me in the bracket of age for then Brexton, and then what all happens, Busch stated. If I can get above 70 wins, for me that would be perfect. Busch, 40, sees the 70-win mark as a fitting legacy milestone after winning 63 Cup Series races to date. However, achieving this will not be easy. Busch did not return to victory lane in 2024, despite some encouraging performances. And now, deep throughout the 2025 season, the drought continues. "You've got to win, right?" Busch told Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports. "And unfortunately, we weren't able to win last year, so being able to get back to victory lane, being able to build on some consistency, getting those top 5, top 10s, getting that number higher than what it was this year is definitely paramount." Busch presently has 4 top 10 finishes and 1 top 5 for 2025. However, it is clear that simply finishing well is insufficient for one of the most competitive NASCAR drivers in history. He recognizes it. Fans understand this. His teammates are aware of it. The frustration is nearing a boiling point. In a future episode of Actions Detrimental, Busch made another surprising suggestion, completely overhauling the playoff structure. "Is there a speedway race in the last 3? Why not?" Busch stated. "You race 6 speedway races, you race 6 road course races, you race 8 intermediates, 3 races, Daytona kicks it off, Daytona, Texas, Homestead to finish the season. It's a bold proposition, especially given that NASCAR official Ben Kennedy has already ruled out super speedways like Daytona and Talladega for the championship race due to their volatility. However, Busch contends that unpredictability is a natural aspect of the sport. He wants a playoff that reflects NASCAR's track diversity. However, for the time being, the playoff system remains unchanged. Homestead Miami Speedway has been announced as the location for the 2026 championship race. Phoenix Raceway is likely to remain in operation. Kennedy emphasized the importance of weather, location, and fan experience while choosing a venue. "Never say never," Kennedy said, "but I think we've unanimously agreed that it needs to look and feel like what we would expect traditional NASCAR racing to look and feel like. Super speedways, I think we all feel like right now we wouldn't consider that as a championship venue." While Busch's playoff vision may not be realized anytime soon, he has not stopped speaking out about what is lacking in the current system. It hasn't stopped him from talking about the Indianapolis 500, which is arguably the most significant what-if of his career. In what could be the most shocking disclosure of all, Busch revealed that he had signed contracts to race the Indy 500 not once, but twice. In 2017, the then-owner Joe Gibbs stopped a transaction, and again in 2024 he feels Kyle Larson took the trip meant for him. "I had an opportunity done, sealed, signed, delivered. 2017, I had it. It was all done," Busch said. "M&M's was going to do it. Guess who said no?" Hamlin guessed Gibbs. Busch confirmed, "Yep." The second opportunity stung even more. "I had it signed, sealed, and delivered again, and then Larson took it," Busch recalled. "We were about ready to go to contract, and Zach Brown was like, 'Hey, I need you to buy the car,' and the sponsor was like, 'Why do I want to buy the car?' Then I found out Larson signed a 2-year deal, and we were only going to do a 1-year deal." Kyle Larson finished 18th in the Indy 500 and did not qualify to start the Coca-Cola 600, but he made history, and it is history that Busch continues to strive for. "Kyle Busch in the Indianapolis 500 would be electric," many fans tweeted. And they're right. For all his fire and fury, Busch has the talent to make it work. But at 40, his window is closing. Still, Kyle Busch has never lacked faith in his ability. He is also never short of words, especially when it comes to opponent Joey Logano. During the podcast, Busch couldn't resist making another dig. Recalling the birth of his son Brexton, he joked about the due date. So Brexton's birth date was on the 22nd, and I was like, we are not having a Logano baby. F that. I was like, is 18 an option? Busch, who was driving the number 18 car at the time, was evidently uninterested in any memories of his former rival. Their feud is legendary. Following this year's Daytona 500, Busch scolded Logano, who was engaged in an accident. "Looks like the fastest car got in a hurry to get to the wreck," Busch stated. "He's trying to go through the middle and make a hole that isn't there and just created chaos." Their 2023 match at the Clash ended in a same stressful environment. "It's really unfortunate to be raced by guys who are so two-faced," Busch said. "We were in the TV booth earlier and he was like, 'Hey man, good luck tonight.' And then he wrecks me. Don't even talk to me if you're going to be that kind of asshole." Two champions, two fierce competitors, a rivalry that refuses to die. So where does Kyle Busch go from here? He's looking for his next victory. He's seeking for a playoff change. He is thinking about the Indianapolis 500, and he's doing it with the same tenacity that made him a legend in the beginning. Love him or hate him, Busch remains a force in the vehicle, behind the microphone, and shaping NASCAR's future. In an era when some superstars are media trained to deliver sterile sound bites, Busch delivers followers with unfiltered emotion. He speaks as if he still had something to prove, and based on his statements, he intends to prove it all in the next 5 years. Will winning 7 more races, qualifying for the Indy 500, and earning a 3rd championship be sufficient? For the majority, yes. For Kyle Busch, the story is still being written. Kyle Busch's growing frustration may finally lead to something powerful. Few drivers have remained as relevant and competitive in their 40s as Busch has. His aggressive demeanor and outspoken criticism, rather than alienating fans, have kept him in the public glare. Rowdy's candid podcast comments and radio tantrums serve as reminders that he is fighting for NASCAR's future, not simply piloting a race car. Kyle Busch's winless streak makes him easy to underestimate. However, the passion and pride that have defined his career may make his next victory one of the sport's most memorable in recent years. He's been knocked down before, only to come back stronger, and with his sights firmly set on 70-plus career wins and even running the Indy 500 one day, he's not about to retire quietly. If NASCAR listens to its drivers and adapts its product, Busch may benefit from changes that value seasoned talent and racecraft above pure technical superiority. And when that moment comes, when Kyle Busch finally breaks the drought, don't be surprised if it sparks more than just a celebration, a new chapter in a legacy that is still unfolding. Because if there's one thing we've learned about Kyle Busch from 2 decades of headlines, rivalries, and victories, it's that he should never be underestimated.